These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Samson article quote, Iran announces the release of 7 billion of its frozen assets. Negotiations mediated by one of the countries in the region for the simultaneous release of prisoners between Iran and United States and billions of dollars of frozen Iranian assets as part of the prisoner liberation deal. Militiaman says when they reduced the IQD to 1460 from 1190, it hurt the poor. The next stage for the central bank is to serve its purpose. That benefits the poor with purchase power. It is to adjust the value of the IQD to an internationally acceptable and tradable currency. Outside its borders and on international platforms with an IMF Article 8 compliant currency. That is what has become a popular demand we are reading about. Mark Z via PDK, very quiet on the RV front this morning, but lots of anticipation. We know we are close, even though we don't know the exact timing. It should have happened at least 3 to 4 times over the last 20 years. It should have happened for sure in 2019. I think we will have it this month. I thought we should have had it late last month. I totally believe it will be this year. Of course, I will have more egg on my face if I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. All right, Frank26, Firefly Bank guy says there's too much turmoil right now. It's too unstable, he thinks, for a major change. Until something is settled about government, Frank said we need a fully seated government, and I agree with that 100%. That is where we're at. In my opinion, a fully seated government is right around the corner. It's very, very close. All right, Pimpy says the rumors they're going to raise the exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar to help settle the problems over there. No, they're not. There's no such reports whatsoever. That's false. But if they get back on track, they're doing all the things necessary for them to make the right moves when it comes to the Iraqi dinar when the time comes. RV already says, I think it is clear that with the failure of the Iraqi political system, the UN will have to force them into a set of agreements. The UN has experience with these sorts of situations. They now have to decide what tools from their arsenal to bring to bear. And Sandy Ingram says, when we move over to the Central Bank of Iraq, we find no new announcements, which is normal. The governor of the CBI is doing a lot of what the Prime Minister of Iraq is doing, and he is meeting with neighboring countries to build bridges and economic ties. All right, Mountain Goat article quote, the process of deleting zeros from the currency needs to legislate a law and requires some modifications, and the atmosphere must be available to accept such modifications, noting that the central bank presented earlier a project on the process of deleting zeros. Mountain Goat said, I keep talking about this project because I know it is the first step towards the activation of the reinstatement that follows it. It is like the key to unlock the RV. Mark Z via PDK, I was leaned on to not release the details for the next few days, and everybody I know has been leaned on to be quiet. But they didn't show up with money and an NDA, so I'm only going to be so quiet. If they show up with money I can spend, and then I will be real quiet. Mark who? All right, Caparoni says, as the IMF stated from Article 4 consultation of 2013 with Iraq, they encourage Iraq to create the conditions which would make it possible to move to a more flexible exchange rate policy. Such flexibility could allow a predictable and gradual appreciation of the nominal exchange rate.